This video is brought to you by Atomic Wheels, your go-to source for premium fully forged rims for your electric vehicle. Enhance the style and range of your Tesla or Rivian today. Go to atomicwheels.com and use code TFLEV for 10% off your order.
Chevy has a new option if you are looking to buy a brand new pickup truck, and it's this. It's the all-new 2024 Chevy Silverado EV RST. This is a luxurious, sporty truck. You may have seen our testing of the work truck version of the Silverado EV. Well, this truck has way more power, a lot more features, new style. So in this video, I want to show it to you. We are no longer at an auto show. This is a real production-ready truck that you can buy very, very soon. I'll be able to tell you the pricing and show you all the features. So let's get going. So let's take a profile view of this brand new truck and start there. The wheelbase of this thing is around 145 inches, which is kind of a magic number in terms of full-size pickup truck territory and market in the United States. This is basically the same wheelbase as you will find in a gasoline-powered Chevy Silverado 1500 or a Ford F-150 or a Ram 1500 that have 4 doors and a short bed. But this is something new, something different. Of course, Chevy has their gasoline and diesel-powered trucks, also heavy-duty trucks. This is all electric, so it has a new structure. The hood area has basically been shortened in relation to a common gasoline-powered truck. The passenger compartment is enormous. I'm just about 6'3", and you can kind of see how big this passenger compartment is. And then they also have a pretty large bed. So they kind of reorganized the structure and configuration of this truck to give it, I think, more usable space all the way around, inside and also for cargo. This also has the midgate. I'll show you that. Some people call it the Avalanche or the Avalanche, the new version of the Avalanche, but Chevy doesn't call it that, even though it has kind of that same structure and unibody appearance. Although it does have basically, it's a combination of a chassis or like a body on frame design and unibody design. It's kind of a combination of the two. It's an all new thing from Chevy. And you've seen it before in the Silverado EV work truck that we showed you. They also have the upcoming GMC Sierra EV. And of course, Cadillac Escalade IQ electric SUV that share a lot of the chassis and the kind of the underlying body structure of this thing. This also has a huge battery. This is approximately 212 to 215 kilowatt hours of battery, which currently on the market right now is the largest battery, and it has the largest range. They say for this truck, the rating is 440 miles. And I believe them because our testing with a work truck version of this truck showed about 500 miles of range on the work version of it with less power. So when they give it a rating like this, they're sandbagging a little bit, and it actually could be more than what they're saying. Come over here, let's look at the wheels. So this is kind of special. This is a production truck with 24s, and you see the 8-lug hub. So this is a quite heavy truck. I'll show you all the ratings. This is a 275/50 R22. Sorry for the grass here. So low profile tire, giant wheel. The truck really looks like a concept to me, but it is a production vehicle. Load range E, it shows right there. That's important because this truck's gross vehicle weight rating is 10,500 pounds. And let me show you the payload rating really quick. 1,547. I'm really happy that they actually bumped up the payload rating. So if I take 10,500, which you could see here, and I subtract 1,547, I get a curb weight of just under 9,000 pounds. So of course it is a luxury truck with a lot of features that I'll show you in a second, but that's a quite heavy vehicle. And yeah, and it's got giant wheels. So you're rolling on 24s. Now, to move this weight, they have a lot of power also. So it's a dual motor system. There's an electric motor in the front, there's an electric motor in the rear, and combined power is 754. And it also, they list almost 800 pound-feet of torque. So it has no shortage of torque, no shortage of power. Really, you have a lot of weight, but you also have a lot of horsepower and torque to go along with it. Now, let's start looking at the features. And I'll be able to show you also the air suspension and a little bit of four-wheel steering. It has all that. Here's my key. Really, it looks pretty standard for a Chevrolet key. I like the way it feels. But then also I can open the front, I can open the tailgate, I can power the thing up. I also have my app access, so I can control a lot of features using my app. But let me open the front. Here it is. It's opening its mouth now. So underneath the mouth of this truck is 10.7 cubic feet of volume. So this is my gear bag. This is my backpack full of cameras. There's a charging cable here that comes with the truck. In here also is a little inflator kit. This truck, actually, let me look in the back. I don't know if it comes with a spare. I think you're getting an inflation kit with this truck. But other than that, this is quite usable. I mean, it's not as huge as an F-150 Lightning front area that has about 14 cubic feet, but this is larger than the Cybertruck's 7 cubic feet of front space. You have a drainage plug, you have tie downs, drainage plug, tie downs, light, a little safety button, and also power. This is 120 volt, 20 amp, so 2.4 kilowatt export power. So you could have tools, maybe some remote control cars or something else you're charging and powering while moving. It works while moving. Your 12 volt battery is here, so you can kind of see positive, negative. So of course it has a 12 volt system because a lot of like the lights and some of the other accessories run on 12 volts, and you can jump start another vehicle off of this battery here. And here's where your windshield washer fluid is. It's right here. So now let me close this up. And it also requires me to hold the button as well. I think it's basically a safety issue. The truck basically wants to know that you mean to do it and you really want to close the front. New styling. For this first drive event, we're here in Michigan, and we only have this black color available to us. So all the trucks that everybody's driving this week are in this black color. Let me know what you think in the comments below, of course, about the styling of this vehicle. And we just went through some rain, lots of rain. So this truck has a tiny bit of road grime on it, but it also has a side step. So let me know what you think about the styling. I think I probably would choose another color. Maybe they have some also grays, some blues. So they have some interesting colors as well you can choose. Now let's take a look at the bed. This is a truck after all, and they mean it to be a truck. So they included, of course, a lot of useful features. Let me look at the hitch first. So the hitch is down here, 2-inch receiver. Now this truck, the RST, is rated at 10,000 pounds of towing. I think for this type of truck, that's a plenty big for a trailer. For example, the Rivian R1T is rated at 11,000 pounds. The Cybertruck is rated at 11,000 pounds. The F-150 Lightning is rated at 10,000 pounds. So they're all about the same weight. And if you want to tow more, you really should get a heavy-duty vehicle like a proper diesel if you want to put, 15,000 or 20,000 pounds behind it. Here you have ability to connect cameras inside your trailer, behind your trailer. This is very typical to what they have in other Silverados. So I like the fact that you can get any version of Silverado. You can get a V8 powered one, you can get a turbocharged 4-banger, You can get a Duramax straight 6 3-liter, and now you can get an electric one as well, and several versions of the electric truck. This one has the fancy tailgate. There you go. You've seen this before. This is not the first time that the Silverado has a tailgate like this. So first of all, this is a step. I also have my handle if I felt like I needed a handle to get into this bed. So that's pretty easy. And then with a midgate, the bulkhead closed, the floor of this truck is around 5 feet 11. So not quite 6 feet, but that's better than 5.5 feet in most crew cabs. So that's already good. Now, so this adds another, almost 2 feet. And if you put down the midgate, which I'll show you in a second, this is 10 feet, 10 inches, almost 11 feet. So of material, like a 2x6 or something, or a sup, like a surfing board, anything like that, you can kind of put in here. Also, I wanted to show you, if you come around this way, I want to show you the electric accessories here. So I have 240 volt, so 7.2 kilowatts here, 2.4, 2.4. Altogether, it's just over 10 kilowatt, like simultaneously, that you can draw from this truck. Here you go, basically very similar to a standard generator plug. There's a little cubby behind here and it says pretty amazing. That's kind of funny. Well, this cubby is not super amazing, but this power is. I think the new electric trucks, and really F-150 hybrid, kind of brought this to market. And now most manufacturers are doing this, including Tesla, actually export power. This is really cool. You can use this while moving too. So a couple of use cases I'm thinking about is like towing, for example, a camping trailer behind you. There's actually one right there. You could see a Silverado with a camper. So you can maybe maintain some systems on, if you do it safely, with a wire, not dangling around, but if you do it safely and you wire it correctly, you could power or at least maintain some systems on your camper. Now also electric boats are coming out. So you could potentially top off your electric boat while moving, or you could help a friend, right? You can, let's say your friend has an electric car, they are low on juice, they need some help. You could put them, basically their car on a trailer and take them inside. While you're driving somewhere, you could also top off their car or charge their car while moving. So that's actually enough power, 7.2 kilowatts, to actually do a lot of work with in that 240 volt system. This has also the best charging of any, as far as the quickest charging of any, 350 kilowatt capability. Still no NCAS plug. So this is still kind of the system that, that exists now. GM will be switching to a different standard in the coming year or two. So it should be able to use the Tesla charging network and others. But 350 kilowatt, because it can charge under 800 volts, it's one of the quickest chargers. All right, now let's jump inside. How about the rear seat first? Let's look at the rear seat. I was telling you how big the passenger compartment is, and it's huge. Like I said, I'm about 6'3", and I mean, I can cross my legs, sit here. I can, relax. I have headroom. I also have a panoramic glass roof. I am still this is kind of a unique execution of it. I love, the way it looks, but there is no sunshade. I don't know if there's an accessory, maybe you can insert a shade into this, but yeah, I can't really make it darker in here if I really wanted to, but I love the openness of this. And especially in a big city, if you're driving through a city or if you're driving through mountains, you can really see way above you, and I kind of like that. I also have heated seats, ventilation, so I have a lot of cool features. Now, the midgate, I've been looking forward to this because my friends had, I'll do that side as well, like old Avalanches, also the H2T, the Hummer pickup truck from before, kind of had the midgate systems. So you fold it this way. Let me walk around and do the other side. So you pull this, you do the headrest, and then you kind of drop it down. So now you're ready to drop down the midgate. And this is kind of a multi-step process. So let me jump back on the other side really quick. And by the way, I'm doing this in real time. So there's no cutting, you can kind of see. So you can remove this glass too. Of course, it is heated. So in the winter time, of course, you could take care of that as well. Now this pops out this way. There's a little stopper. I think it's kind of clever because you don't want this glass to immediately fall on you. So now that you're aware of what's going on, you can move that stopper, take the glass, insert it into this door, and it latches here. So now you can kind of drive around like this. I mean, you can put the seats back up and, you know, kind of have kind of open air experience this way. But you can also, let's see. All right, there's one cut. I thought I knew every permutation of this door, but I didn't. So with the glass removed, the entire thing comes down. So now this is where, about from here all the way down, if the tailgate was down with that little stopper, that would be 10 feet, 10 inches, almost 11 feet. But now this opens several other possibilities. You can have a complete topper on this truck or a tonneau cover like this, you can see here. And then, for example, you could actually camp inside your truck. You could use the climate control system from within the vehicle to either cool off or warm up your sleeping quarters in the back. Okay, let me close this again. Let me put the back, actually I'll leave it open. I like this open. Okay, close this down, open this up, bam. Now open. All right, let's jump in the front. There's another permutation of what's happening with the rear gate, is because without removing the glass, you can also fold the bottom of it as well. So there's another permutation there. Now, okay, so full console here in the middle. So this is really a 5-person vehicle. Here's my climate control. I like that this has these actual big knobs and also actual physical knobs and physical controls. A lot of vehicles are going to all screen. This is also screen enabled, so I can lower and raise my temperature here. Can operate my ventilated seats or heated seats, and I have all this stuff ready at hand. Some red accents here on the little flaps. These flaps are also manual, so I kind of like that. 17.7-inch display, and also another digital display here, of course, and also heads-up display. So this is not shortened displays. Another display, my rear view mirror, so it's a screen. This is also not new. Been used in other vehicles and trucks as well. This has Super Cruise. So on pre-mapped highways, Chevrolet says around 400,000 miles in the US, and soon to be 750,000 miles. So basically every divided interstate or highway and some also side highways are also available with hands-free driving, also while towing. So GM is still one of the only ones that offer that technology. Now, I gotta tell you about drive modes. There's a lot going on here. So first of all, this menu, it's got a home button on the top left. And now I have some other stuff. I can hit that little vehicle symbol and it'll bring me into drive modes. Technically, this can do a little bit of off-roading, but you don't want to off-road too much with 24-inch wheels. Chevy says a trail boss version of this truck is coming next year. So in 2025, we should see a trail boss off-road version of this truck as well. Towing, like I said, 10,000 pounds, normal mode. But this is my favorite, my mode. You click this edit symbol, and now you have like 4 different parameters you can control. Your steering, kind of feedback and effort, kind of relaxed, normal, and sporty. By the way, I have another video coming up soon where I can show you a 0 to 60 acceleration, I can show you highway driving, I can show you some towing, I can show you a lot of different elements of this truck. Now suspension, like I said, air, height adjustable, could be touring, normal, or sport. Acceleration feel, once again, relaxed. And I think if you really want to maximize your range, you probably need to be relaxed instead of sport. So you can use a little bit less juice if you want to kind of maximize your range. And also sound augmentation, you can turn it off. You can have normal or sport. That's basically kind of, it creates a little bit of sound while moving. Of course, navigation is here. This has built-in Android system and basically Google integration. And as you can see, if you enter some sort of destination, for example, some of my favorites, this is not my favorites, this is what GM had for this event, like the hotel, it will map it out. It will also say like your state of charge when you arrive. So it kind of has a full integration. It will also help you find chargers if you really needed it. But with 440 miles of total driving range, this is one of those trucks that you could drive for an entire week back and forth from work and never use maybe half even of its charge. So this is kind of one of those vehicles. And it's not super cheap, I'll tell you the price in a second, but it's actually, you can use it without worrying about charging too much. I've done it with a work truck, and it should be very similar with this truck as well. Now I have a couple of screens in here, so I can kind of change my view of the screen. You can have little information or lots of information. I kind of like this dual gauge cluster mode. This truck has about 1,000 miles on its clock. I also have, let me take the camera. I have the built-in brake controller here. I have open tailgate, open front, and also air suspension adjustment, up or down on this. And I can lower it. You can kind of see it right there. Truck is coming down. It says lowering. There you go. So it has all those features. This is kind of a movable console. I kind of like the usability of this. I first saw it on the Ram truck, and I think this makes a lot of sense. My little map in here. So this is really deep. USB-C outlets are everywhere in here, up there. Wireless charger is available. There's a little truck symbol here, kind of history. Classic, super classic Chevy to the current one. Little Easter egg in there. There's a cubby here. I kind of like this. You can put your device, your phone, and of course glove box compartment back here. Some stitching for the RST. So this is the RST. They'll have other trucks, trim levels like LT. So work truck is already around. This is now RST is available. LT will also come soon, kind of a mid-grade. And then Trail Bus will be next year. And we're yet to see the Trail Bus in person. So that's going to be quite interesting. I wanted to show you a couple more things. My headlamp settings are here. You can stay in auto, so your headlamps will always come on when it's dark, or you can turn your lights on. But it's once again a digital button, and it's in the screen on this area. So you can kind of set some timers. So cancel. You can go to you can actually turn off rear steering. I would keep it on. It should make the total turning diameter of about 42.2 feet according to Chevrolet when it's on, which means it's like a smaller car or SUV. Quite maneuverable. Traction control is here, so if you want, I guess, play around a tiny bit, you can kind of deselect that. Auto park assist is available. Heads up display features. You can kind of adjust those settings as well. So actually, if you're used to some of the other the new GM vehicles, including my Chevy Colorado, has kind of similar layout of their home pages. And I mean, of course, there is some additional fast charging settings and energy usage. But if you're used to, here's my camera system. Of course, the other thing I wanted to mention is regen braking. It has, you can kind of control the level of regen. So you can actually have it as full coast. So if you're used to coasting in a gasoline powered or diesel powered vehicle, you can kind of set up this truck the same way. Tire pressures. I think my tire pressures are quite high because this is a heavy vehicle once again, and those tires need to support a lot of weight. Gross combined weight rating with the trailer is about 19.5, I believe. So all this comes to you at a price of, really one price, $96,500 approximately. So it's under 100. When they first introduced this, when people were ordering this truck, it was listed above 100,000. Now they brought the price down to 96.5, and that's after destination charges. The tonneau cover, I believe, is extra. You see here the soft folding cover. So of course you could add a few more options, but that's the price, and that's probably likely because of the battery. Really, the battery is like the most, and the motors, the electric motors, that's kind of the bulk of the price, and everything else is available, of course, in this truck as well. Chevy also is introducing the Equinox EV that's coming online very, very soon, and that's about half the price of this. And also the Blazer EV is already on sale, and still, it's available at dealerships right now. And by the way, they also have GM Energy. We have division. We have a separate video about that. You can have bidirectional charging, so you could charge the vehicle, but have the vehicle also send power to your home, for example. So check out our video describing that as well. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. This is the RST, and stay tuned just a few more days for full driving 0 to 60s. Like I said, everything else is coming very soon. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.